All right, y'all. You're at Twin City Firewood, and you're welcome here anytime. Thank y'all for coming. Hope you stick around. I thought I'd just do a little video on Pallet Forks. A lot of y'all watching use them and have them. You have tractors like I do. You use IVC totes like I do. And even if you don't, it may be something you're interested in. So it ain't no secret. Pallet forks are just stupid expensive. I mean, they've got ridiculous like a lot of things, but just my opinion on what you're getting for pallet forks are just overpaying. It's like furniture for the tractor attachment world, you know. I've been hunting. Shoot, I bought a set of pallet forks before I even got my tractor in. I just started hunting for them and shopping for them. And I'll show you what I picked up. I've actually got 3 sets of pallet forks, just the forks. You know how it is. You just, hard to pass up on a deal, you know. So here's the base that I ordered off, I believe it was Amazon, somewhere off the internet. I bought this base. I think I gave less than $200. It was around $150 for it maybe. And it works good. Now, it's not as nice as some of the bases. I'm sorry, I need to watch where I'm holding the camera. You know, some of them are taller and have like a cage over it, but I like this. I can see the end of my forks pretty good with it. So a few years ago, I bought those forks, right there in the green, at just a place on the side of the road. I just happened to find them. And it was old hook and pin style John Deere homemade deal. And it came with those 42-inch forks, or 3.5-foot forks. And I gave like $175, I think, for them. I couldn't use the hook and pin style, the John Deere style. So I sold just the base for it. I think I sold them for around $75. So I got about $100, right at $100 in just the forks, or the tines people call them. And I've been using 42-inch forks for several years now with IVC totes and using for logs and picking up stuff. And they work fine, man. I'm not knocking 42-inch. I'll just tell you what I think is better, or what I like better. Sorry, darn mosquitoes is all around me. I'll just tell you what I like better. Seems to work better for me. So about 6 or 8 months ago, I started really hunting some 48-inch forks. Just the tines, you know, and I'd priced them, and they're expensive just for the forks. I want to say I was seeing anywhere from around $700 to $800, maybe a little cheaper than that, like $600, just for the forks. So I just started hunting or shopping, you know what I mean, looking around, asking around places like that weren't operating anymore, like plants or forklift places that use forklifts, you know what I mean, things like that. Anyways, I just started asking around, and a guy I know, he actually doesn't live far from me. He heard about a man in town about 5 miles from here, and he bought contents of a big old building, and he has a bunch of pallet forks, and he said he would sell them. So here we go. I went and talked to him. He had a set of 48-inch pallet forks, 4-foot pallet forks. Long story short, I bought them for $100. I used them for about a week, and I really liked them. He had another set of 42-inch pallet forks laying right. Sorry, I ain't coordinated enough to point these right there. I'm sorry, it's that one right there. There we go. Now I've got it right. And that's the 42-inch one that's on my tractor now, and I just got them on there just so you can see. So I went back and bought the other set of forks for $100, and he thought that was fair, and I thought that was fair. They had just been sitting outside for years. Now that I went to the 48-inch, that's all I used. I haven't even put the 42-inch back on, other than just to kind of show y'all something. Here you go. So obviously, the 40-inch forks are 6 inches longer. Doesn't take a redneck scientist to figure that out, you know. And I have used the box style forks, and I'm not trying to knock them, but I don't care for them for what I like to use stuff for. They don't get up under the totes to slide up under them very good. They're more likely to push. Same thing with logs and pallets and things. They just don't kind of ease in under stuff. Yeah, also I understand, you know, a lot of people say bigger is always better. I don't think it's always better. I think there's times it is and times it ain't, you know. if you're in a tight place, well, the 42-inch forks may work a lot better. And I can see sometimes where my 48 inches were a little too long. If I was kind of in a tight spot and having to back up, and 6 inches ain't much, but it does make a little difference sometimes when you're in a tight spot. And I'm sure there's some jokes that can be made there, but I'm not going to get into all that. But for the most part, and what I deal with, the 48-inch forks, man, they hadn't gotten away. If anything, they work a lot better for me. And I'll show you a couple reasons why. Here's one. So this is my dump trailer, and it's a 6x12, so it's 12 foot long. And with the 42-inch forks, when I would load my first tote up, I tried to get it as far as I could towards the front. And if you've watched any of my videos, and I'll try to include a little clip of it, but I set my totes down and I ease my forks up under them, and then I knock it over, get up under them again, and shake them loose and bring it out. Works really good. But with 42-inch forks, on the first tote, by the time I knock it over, I can't reach it. The front of my tractor will hit right here, and I can't reach it. And there's been several times where I had to put a strap on it. And several times I've had to hook a strap to it and pull it back. And so I got to where I wouldn't knock it over. I wouldn't get it as far as I could forward because I couldn't reach it. Well, when I swapped to the 48-inch forks, I never had that problem again. I've always been able to reach it. And that right there alone is pretty handy for me because I do that quite a bit. Now, if you got a longer trailer or shorter trailer, that'll differ. Let me get out of the rain. Hey, I'm sorry for any background noise. It's raining pretty good now. I just thought I'd bring it inside. And you can see the difference in how much a 48-inch fork sticks out versus a 42-inch. And there is times where the 48-inch gets in the way when you got, say you're splitting with a conveyor or what have you, and you got your totes beside each other trying to catch the wood. These shorter ones, the 42-inch, they don't hardly get in the way. You can just go in, pick them up, and take off. With the longer ones, the 4-footers, I usually don't go in all the way. And I've done it enough where, you don't have much trouble, but leave roughly 6 inches, pick it up, back out a foot or two, and then pick it up again, and off you go. So there is a con to the 48-inch right there in some ways. It's easily remedied, but it's something. And I'm not trying to go on, guys, like I'm an expert, like I know anything. I don't. This is just some things I've learned while I'm doing this. And I just thought it might be useful because these things are so expensive that you want any details that you can before you turn loose of your money that you've worked for. I know that's how I am. I get in dork mode when I go to shopping and looking, and I get on YouTube and I ask questions. And so, this may sound like some simple stuff, and it is, but I just thought it'd make a interesting video possibly because I have both size forks. And if you're just going to buy one set, you don't want any buyer's remorse. You know how that goes. So I appreciate y'all watching anyway, and I'll show you another couple of things. But the main reason I like the 4-foot forks is because they're easier to look at. And that goes a long way, not just in Pallet Forks, but a lot of things you're picking out. You want to pick out the easiest thing to look at a lot of times, but that could get you in trouble with sometimes too, the more I think about it. But let me turn you around, I'll show you what I mean. So if you're sitting in your tractor, this is a Coyote CK 3510, and I'm 5'9", I'm not a big guy. So you big tall rascals, it'll help y'all's point of view. But what I mean by they're easier to look at is they're easier to find when you're sitting in the tractor. And nobody wants to be sitting up out of their seat. One thing, it'll kill your tractor. I did bypass that, so that's not an issue for me. But this is kind of what it looks like. Here's a 42-inch, and you have to lean up slightly and go over a little bit. And you can find that 42-inch one pretty easy. But now this is inside on carpet. Tall grass or at nighttime, you can imagine it's definitely harder to see. But this is about my point of view for 42-inch. And honestly, it's harder to find when I'm out there in the grass. But the 42-inch, and now this side is more narrow. It's got the guide and it's got the hoses. But can you tell? I mean, I just leaned over a little bit and it just pops right up. Like it's so much easier to find because there's more sticking out. I know that sounds simple and it may be stupid and I may get some hateful comments on here. I don't know, but I just hadn't seen anybody show what the difference is. And right there didn't look like I accidentally moved around a little too much. But when you lean up, you can kind of see there, you know. But this is where I'm sitting at right now. This is uncomfortable. Like my steering wheel's in my belly. And you don't want to drive like that. And you don't want to do that every time you're going to lift. But it's pretty comfortable to see right here. And I can't hardly see the 42 inch. And I can see the 48 inch right there. And if you lean over just a hair more, you can see it. So anyways, I just thought I might show you all that. Some of you may like it. Some of you may not. But there's the information. You can do with it what you want, you know. Now we've all seen, if you've on YouTube land, you know, you can pick up 2 totes with any type forks, as long as they're long enough, 42 inch, 48 inch, what have you. And you can double stack them, and you can even triple stack them with these little tractors. But you have to go slow and you have to be careful, or it'll flip over, you know, on your tractor or what have you. And that ain't fun. It's funner to me just to, I'm not trying to break records, but to just get it slick, like smooth, and take off, and then make another trip if I need to. So, you know, you can double stack them or whatever, but with the 42 inch, it's hard to get to like I'm talking about. With the 48 inch, it works slick, and I'll show you a little video of what I'm talking about right now. Thank y'all again for staying with me this long and hanging out with me. Like I said, this may not have been interesting, but to some of y'all it may have been. When I was looking for Pallet Forks, I would have liked to have seen this. So it'll be out there if anybody likes the information. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you in advance for pushing any buttons for me. And I hope y'all are having a good one. I hope you're blessed, and I hope that you're healthy. And I hope that maybe you bless somebody. Thank y'all. See you.